Welcome, live on the Dope and Tape Show. We got
Hello.
James from
Yes.
Scotland,
Yes, how you doing?
Yeah.
and we got
Good.
Brian with a fully charged
What's
phone.
going on? But fully, and I'm gonna charge it continuously.
So let's just get this thing going on all these channels. Let some people join up here. Let them see our new opener. This looks good. This looks good. Flash it over. Boom. All right.
Welcome.
Everybody, welcome. If you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay, we appreciate you. This is being really this is getting more fun as we go, and it's growing. We love it. So we got James tonight from Scotland. Caught my attention because he's doing sprinklers, different country, and the stuff that he's doing looks different. The components at least. I was just
Yeah.
talking before with him. Maybe I could pull up a picture real quick so we could have a little topic to see what I'm saying. But so something like this, we were just speaking of um, just little gizmos and gadgets that I don't see. So this right here, James was telling us, and he'll be able to speak on it, how you can flow water. You can flow water up and around this pump thing.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a it's like a zone manifold.
Hold
I know. I wish I could.
So
Is that an air compressor attached to that?
no, so what that is, if you've got like a big block of flats, a shopping centre, and you've got to zone certain areas, you put one of these zone checks in, and what they have is they've got a pump attached to the zone check. And instead of doing your when you do your quarterly testing or your annual testing, whatever it is you do, normally you would attach a hose or a drain. You would open the drain, flow switch would activate, send alarm and send signals off. But what these do is they've got a key switch on them. I've got a box with a key switch, and you turn the key, the green pump activates, and it just circulates the water around the two connection points on it, one on either side, and it activates your alarms without discharging any water. So like you can have like a multi-story, you can have like a whole shopping centre, and you can go around one at a time, and you can turn the key and set the alarms off without actually losing any water. So it's a lot greener. I feel like you can save on thousands and thousands of liters
So
per
you're
per
flowing
per.
water, and but you're not wasting any. I like that.
Yeah, so you turn the little pump, the water just circulates around that little pump, and all your alarms activate. All your fire alarms are activated. They're good. They're really good. And the guys that make these, they're trying to crack the states right now. They're actually in the states right now, trying to crack them. So it's good. If you guys get them, you'll love them.
I
We
would use it.
fitted we fitted office blocks, big office blocks, where the tenants are in the blocks and there's no hoses, there's no drain lines, there's no water getting discharged. You still have a drain, obviously, for if you need to drain the system. But when you're doing your quarterly inspection or your annual inspection, just a key switch, turn the key, and all the alarms activate. They activate in seconds, and there's no water gets displaced.
That's
So they
wicked,
are really good.
wicked
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, they're really
So
good.
from let's say city, county, municipal water supply. Forgive me for my arrogance in this, but like, is there water supply issues in Scotland
No,
where
no,
this has to come up?
no, not at all. No, like we put these now. A lot of your building owners will want these. Will want these installed. There's no water
Hmm.
movement. You don't actually have to move water. There's no disruption whatsoever. So the water that you save alone is like thousands and thousands of liters per unit. So especially these get fitted on commercial units. So if you've got like a I don't know. Like in the UK, we have we've got ordinary hazard group one, which requires a certain flow. Ordinary hazard group three that requires a certain flow. Some of them are high, 2,000 litres. You've got to get in some of them 2,000 litres, 3,000 litres. So if you're discharging that water per zone valve as well, it's a lot of water you're wasting. A lot of water. So
Oh
this
yeah.
actually saves on water big time. Yeah, they're really good.
This
They're really
seems to
good.
be the new thing that's taken over the industry is the wasting of the water, and how can we not?
So yeah, so Jay
Yeah.
Simmons, he brought up an incredible point on the comments. He says it sounds similar to a flow meter on a fire pump that discharges to the suction side. Um, And I think from what he's saying, like that's dead on. Like that's a great example.
That's like a large
Um,
scale. That's what we did at our job. It's basically a much
yeah,
larger scale, but yeah, you're just flowing in a
Yeah,
loop. You're actually using water to trigger the device, opposed to
yeah.
just simulating.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and let's say we get them in residential as well now. So the little residential ones, we can use them in like multiple, like high-rise flats, where you can have anything from 1 to 100, 200 of these. Um, we do pipe the drains back to drain the same way that you guys do it. But the actual dispensing of water, we can keep it in the system. We don't need to actually let go of the water, so we're not wasting any water. Now, once a year on the annual testing, it would be good to obviously just flush the system out, get the water moving properly. But on the best part of every quarterly test, you can just turn the key, alarms are activated, system passed. So that's a good one for like if it's all zoned, obviously. You just test the zones individually. Um, but yeah, they're really good and they're getting really, really popular. The steel ones have been out here now for the best part of 15 years, maybe. So we've been using them for 15 years.
Oh
The
wow.
residential ones, I believe that we are the first in Scotland to use the residential ones. I got on quite well with the people that make these, the manufacturing company, and we've bought a lot of them for new high rises that we're ready to start. So we've bought a lot of them now. So yeah, they're really cool. They're good.
They look cool.
so do they require so like Jay Simmons in the comments, he was talking about a flow meter on a fire pump
Yeah,
that we would use for an inspection purposes. Now, according to a code, the flow meter needs to be now. Do we enforce it? That's neither here or there. It's more on the no, we don't. But it's according to code, we require it to be like going through a test to make sure that the integrity of the meter is correct as well as the calibration. Is that needed on this device as
yeah,
well? Calibration
yeah.
annually?
So what we do is, if you can imagine, if we've got a block of flats, just call it a block of flats, and we will have a pump on the basement, on the ground floor, or anywhere in the building. We've got a pump and a water supply tank. We would test the pump. So what we do is when we do the calculations on the job, we do like the most remote area, the most favourable area, and we do the calculation based on that. When we come to do the annual testing to make sure that they're actually working, the pumps are given the duties that are required. We set up a digital flow meter on the actual pump itself, and we can test the most remote and the most favourable from the pump. But all the zones in between on each floor, we can just use that zone valve to trigger the alarms. So that's just giving you an alarm activation as the flow switch activates. So that turning the key, we don't actually need to lose water on that. But the pump is where we would do the testing to make sure we're getting our duties from. And at that point,
Mm.
we're dispensing water then, obviously, because we're actually making sure the pump's flowing what it's supposed to flow. Does that make sense? Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
But
seeing
yeah,
new
that's
shit.
it. Like you could have a block, you could have a block of flats with I don't know 1,000 flats, and you might have 32 floors, and one of these zone valves per floor. And you've got your pump and your tank and your water supplies in the basement. We would run the pumps in the basement and make sure that all the flows and all the testing was working properly through a digital flow meter. But on each level, we would just test them with a key switch. We just turn the key, alarms are activated, and we know that the signals are getting sent back to a panel that the alarms have been
So
activated.
it's just there to flow.
Yeah,
You're not
Yeah,
reading
yeah, yeah,
you're not reading
absolutely.
water
Yeah.
amounts. Okay.
Yeah.
test the flow switches. Yeah,
It's a
making
meter
sure they're all
inside
working.
of a manifold. I like that. I really do. I think it would take a little while for it to get here in the United States
Yeah,
just because of cost.
yeah, yeah. Well, the actual see every place hasn't got them. Do you know, in Scotland, like, we don't fit them in every place. There's certain jobs. There's just certain jobs.
Certain.
Um, they are getting specified a little more now, just based on like what you were saying about the green, the green side of it. Like we're not losing water and we're saving on a lot of things.
The
A
woke.
lot of building, yeah, a lot of building controls are now saying, well, let's do that. Let's have that. But there's jobs that we specify them on. So if we're doing a big block, we'll just pick these out. We'll just pick these up and say, look, this is what we're putting in. We want to fit these because they're good, and we explain why
Mm.
we're fitting them. And then building control normally just accept them anyway. So yeah, they're excellent. They really are good. They really are good.
The woke are taking over the sprinkler industry, trying to make us all a bunch of tree huggers. So Jay Simmons says he has to pump any sprinkler testing he was doing. He would have to flow into an empty tanker truck, and they do that out here
Whoa.
sometimes. When you do foam tests, they have this place called Clean Harbors, and they suck up all the foam. And those guys will tell you it's non-toxic, and they'll just pump it. They'll just pump it right into the ocean.
No way.
Yeah, man, they do. That's what they say.
Shit.
They
Yeah,
say
that's crazy.
Wow.
and some like it'll be 50-50. Some people say it's non-toxic, and if you
Yeah,
Google it, it seems pretty toxic.
yeah,
A lot of plants in
Yeah.
Connecticut like
Oh
that
no.
as well. So a lot of people are pumping their sprinkler test water into empty tanker trucks. I want to know what the tanker truck's doing with it. It's making
yeah.
it
It's got
back.
to go.
It's making it back to the ocean either way.
It's got to go somewhere, isn't it? It's got to go somewhere when the tanker truck when he leaves. It's
Right.
got to
You
get
know,
to.
where's it going?
Yeah, yeah. Sprinkler water, especially in commercial, sprinkler water is horrible. It is horrible.
I love it when it's
Black.
nice and thick and it just goes all into your pores and it's stuck in there for days. That's my
Uh,
favorite.
I mean, we really don't think about it, you know? Like as like when I flow water, I'm freaking flowing water. You know, I don't
yeah,
even think about it.
I love that
yeah.
smell.
No,
Oh
no,
Like
yeah,
it
I don't think about
uh
gallons being wasted. I want to make sure this
no.
fire pump works,
no.
baby.
Shit, man. I know. Like, I'm the same, to be honest. I come from a commercial background as well. And the amount of times that we have been blasted in the face, drunk that shit,
Oh my
black
god.
gallons of
Yeah.
water. Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, it gets
oh,
and
it's
then
crazy.
you're always trying to fucking jam something back in there so it's spraying all in your face.
Putting your finger back in the
Yeah,
water.
right. Incineration for any foam contaminants. Yeah, maybe the guy was just talking shit.
Yeah.
Someone did tell me they just pump it. They just pump it right into the river.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Non-toxic. Well, even like the foam guys, they'll tell you that it's non-toxic. And they'll be
Yeah,
these firemen used to drive around on mountain bikes in it. They'd fill hangars up and they'd drive around on mountain bikes and they'd be playing in it. And now like there's all kinds of debilitating things happening to them.
yeah. I've seen the videos like in big hangars, like like helicopter hangars and that when they do the foam test and they just drop the foam and then next minute they're all in it. They're all inside the foam. And you're like, shit.
Sneed said an Air Force base in Broward County has an investigation and lawsuit against them for foam contaminating the area's groundwater, I believe. Send me the
What
link,
was there a
Sneed.
leak?
No, like, when you test foam, you're just like spraying it everywhere.
Yeah, you can't
Was
do
there
that.
like a
You have to replace that with test foam, correct?
Let her
Like
eat,
you have to
Pete.
drain it. You have to drain the actual foam concentrate
chemical?
into right. You have to contain it. You have to drain it down into a container and then you put this stuff which is a test foam, which is environmentally safe, and then you test that.
Yep. Yeah, and the test foam is they want to suck that up too. They don't want that even going anywhere. That's what I was saying. They say is non-toxic is the test foam.
Yeah. We don't see much. Well, I don't see much of these systems. I don't see them. I think I've seen one or two a few years back in some generators and mills, like old paper mills. They had generators, big generators, where there was a foam system that would cover the generators if it went up. And I've only seen it once. I've seen videos of it, but I've never actually installed one. I've seen them operate, and they're mental when they go off. They're absolutely mental. How much foam comes out. But yeah,
Wow. So who got you in the fire protection?
my dad. You mean my dad's
Hell
one of the
yeah.
my dad's one of the old school fitters where he doesn't like changing. If he's got a set of still sins in his hand, he's fine. He's happy as pig and shit all day long. Set of still sins, he's away. But yeah, like when I left school, my dad was trying to get me to be a plumber, an electrician, everything but a sprinkler, everything but a sprinkler fitter. And I was like, no,
Wow.
dad, no, dad, I want to be like you.
I want to be like you, Dad.
I want to be like
That's
you, dad.
awesome.
But
That's awesome.
no, when I was 15, I went to London and I basically started working in London on the sprinkler systems. So learned quite a bit down in London. Then obviously my dad had his own company up here, came back from London, and we've just been bashing on ever since. It was mainly commercial, big commercial jobs, schools. All the schools here get sprinklers in them. Like that's been like 20 years now.
Hmm.
We've been sprinkling schools, office blocks, waste management plants, factories. That was all we done. But it was a grind. It was a grind. It was hard. More recently, I would say the last 6, 7 years, we've been focusing on residential. And since we've started focusing on that, it's just went crazy. Like that is the biggest part of our business just now. So yeah, it's been a long 20, 23, 24 year in the sprinklers.
Yeah,
24 years in
wow.
the industry, huh?
Yeah, yeah, right from out of school, 15, boom, right into
Boom.
sprinklers.
So you could be 15, you can work out there?
Well, no, not legally, no,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but yeah,
neither was me and Bobby. We weren't working legally either.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
child labor.
yeah. That's child labor. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I was
I think
getting
when it
paid
was,
cash under the table.
yeah, that was it. That was it. Like, I was like, it was cash in hand. It was cash in hand, and it was like you were just doing
Uh-huh.
your job, but that's what you done back then. So you don't get away with that shit now. But that's what we done.
No.
That's what we done then, and that was
Yeah, put your hard hat on and put your hard hat in your safety vest and don't talk to nobody.
Don't look at nobody.
yeah.
No eye
You are
contact.
nothing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, that was it. I was good. It was a learning experience moving from going down to London, and it was like 4 year, 4 year in London, and it was just all high rises. It was all big office blocks, massive office blocks. It was good. It was good, but once we came back here, that's when it really kicked in with the all the old. So I done a lot of work on old systems, old systems that people wouldn't even look at now and go, "Fuck, man, how do you work that? How do you work the valves?" Um, so yeah, so we learned quite a bit on the mills and all the old factories and that, and some of the valves are like 70 year old and they're still going strong now. They're still going strong
Those
now.
are the best ones.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the client saying, is it going to do another year? Like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If they last another year, let's keep them because they're brilliant. They're so good.
I say the same thing. Don't if it's not broke, don't fix it. But then a lot of people, you want to put the new shit in.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand both sides of it, but I love just like finding an old valve
yeah.
that still works good.
Don't get me wrong. Like the old valves, when you've got to take every single nut and bolt off the valve to get it apart and split it down. The new Victolic valves and the new reliable valves. Yeah, just a couple of wee buttons, a wee valve.
Boop.
Follow the instructions, 1 to 10. Boom. The system's just set.
System's
It's
back
set.
on.
It's
They don't
sorted.
make them
Yeah,
like they used to. That's for sure. Jay
No,
Simmons.
that
New
is for
shit
sure.
causes too many problems half the time. That's true. There's too many
yeah,
entities involved with the new valves.
yeah,
I think this is more commonly seen on dry valves now that all the internal resets
yeah,
and side chambers. I think that's just hurting the industry as far as integrity and durability of the systems. I think the older systems where you would have to take the faceplate off and actually like reset it, you
yeah,
might get a little dirty, but it works. Like
yeah,
my favorite system, the Viking F1, it works. It
yeah.
works.
It
That's
does.
right. Yeah, no, definitely. Like in some of the valves, like we had the Mather and Platt, and it was called a mushroom valve. You maybe seen them. It looks like a big bowl. It looks like a big massive bowl, and the lid on the top of them's got like 32 nuts and bolts on it, and it's like on the 6 inch systems anyway, on the 150 mil systems. Take all them off, and shit, man, that lid is heavy. It's a 2 man lift.
Yeah.
You get that off, then you get that off, then you pull all the insides out completely out. It can take you the best part of a couple of hours, and you put the air on, you go to set it on air, and bang, it fucking turns back over to water. It turns back over to water again. You're like, shit, got to do it all
Sneed.
again.
Sneed, share us to one of your special Facebook pages there with all the sprinkler guys. Share us over there if you can.
Yeah.
Sneed's on Facebook, holding it down.
My father got me in it, and as well as Bobby's. His father got him in it. And I say this every single episode. I know everybody who watches it for 10 episodes get tired of it, but like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it a community and make it more widespread where you do not have to get, shown this by your father. You don't have to be brought in by someone. And typically when we're getting brought into something, it's like at our lowest, like, oh crap, I need a job. What do I do? And then like our friends will be like, well, you can do this. We're hiring, come do sprinkler. And you're
Yeah.
like, what the heck is that? And I wanted to be like more widespread, like plumbers, electricians, welders, but
Yeah.
instead of like, oh crap, I'm about to lose my apartment, and my car. What do I do? Oh, well, this guy, he does his sprinklers. You can come work here.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You always get
That
brought in.
That's the way it is here as well. That's exactly. I think it must be the same all over the world. Like
I think
it's all,
so.
yeah, it's only more so now, more recently in the UK that we're getting recognised as a specialist contractor. And now that we're getting recognised as that, we're now kind of getting the say when we go into brand new properties. So I'm not saying get the say, but what we do is we can kind of the certain things that we can actually demand that we're in first, and we need to get certain areas clear to ourselves.
Yeah.
And because we are now recognised as the specialist contractor, which is quite weird because when I started, I was a grease monkey. I was classed as you were classed as the grease monkey, and now we're the specialised trade. And it seems to be going. It seems to be good because all new builds now, we just tell the builder right from the start, we need in first. We've got to be the first one, and we get in. We get in. So we now get clear runs now. We're not working around everything else
I love
the
being
way it
in
normally
first.
is. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Hmm.
So
And part of that being such a specialized trade at this point, with the lack of popularity, lack of size, however you want to say it, in some states, like here in the United States, we are the top paid trade. Like
yeah,
up in Boston, where Massachusetts, where Bobby lives, number one, top. I
Top,
mean, no
yeah,
one's
the
getting paid more than
top
us.
paid trade.
yeah,
Absolutely, because it's so specialized. And last year, I was looking for some inspectors, and unfortunately, I still am looking for them. I couldn't find any good inspectors, licensed inspectors. It's hard, man. It's hard. There's
mhm,
not a lot of them, and most of them I know, and some of them I don't want. You know?
yeah, yeah. No, definitely, yeah. It's the same with every trade, really, though, is it? And but like we find that here as well. This is a neat game. It's a tight game. Everybody really knows everybody as well. So yeah, like, I know the guys in Glasgow, I know the guys in Edinburgh, and I know the guys down south. You know them, but you don't get like another trade like that. There's not another trade like that where you've got a plumber that knows other plumbers in the different. You don't know them. But a sprinkler game is so tight, and getting the right people,
Uh
it's very, very hard. It's very hard.
And we're trying to
Um,
make that. We're trying to make it more tight now.
yeah,
More
yeah.
tight. Sprinkler water
I
runs
mean,
in our blood. Yes, it does, Simmons.
it is tight. Like even here in Atlanta, like it's interesting. I tell friends of mine that are like if we talk about an interview, and I'm like, I haven't had an interview in years.
yeah,
I just whoever's the branch manager of the company, it's like, hey, I know this guy, this guy, this guy at the company. Ask them about me. I worked
yeah,
with them.
Word of
That's
mouth.
yeah,
how we
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
As
Everybody
and
knows
that's it.
everybody.
Yeah, it's word of mouth and repetition, is it really? That it's something that other trades don't really have. They don't have that.
No,
Um,
no, they don't.
and it must be it's the same all over. It's got to be because that's exactly the way it is here. Yeah, like my dad and that, like I'll be on jobs and they're like, oh, I used to work, or I worked with your dad, or like, you're like, shit, man, when was that? And like, 20 years ago, you're like, really, man, how do you remember that? How do you remember that long ago? But that's just the way it is. People know everybody. We all know each other.
They
Um,
always remember the sprinkler guy.
it's a good thing and a bad thing,
Yeah.
I suppose. It's a good thing and a bad thing. They remember you for the good things, and they
It's
also remember you for the bad things.
Sneed says it's tight to hear. It's the same across the pond.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trust
Yes,
me.
man, across the
absolutely.
pond. So
All
let.
the way
How about
around.
those fire pumps that were coming in those cool little sheds?
So
Yeah,
what's that?
so
Do you have a picture?
yeah,
I want
are
to
you
see
Yeah,
looking
it.
on?
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so these little sheds, they're combinations, right? So they're part water tank, part pump house, but they're in one unit, one GRP molded unit. We get them made to any size, so we could say we need a 1,000 litre tank or we need a 10,000 litre tank, and whatever spec we give them, they build that for us. They build it for
Boom
us.
on the truck. You
Yeah,
see
so
on the truck,
that was
and then
yeah that was
Wow.
this.
and then it's on the pad, and the fire pump's in there. I know it's tough to see.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got to get a little bit better
So
tech savvy so I can just show it up on the
So
screen. But
in America, we'll do skids where the fire pump is just on a
yeah,
pad, but we
yeah.
do not, or at least I have not seen. So we're not going to have concrete houses like you have. Okay,
So
we'll
that one there,
have like a shipping container
that it
kind of style.
that looks
yeah,
metal. It is metal,
yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
that one there's plastic GRP.
The
So
t
Oh wow.
sorry, fiberglass GRP.
Oh, the shed itself.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow. Yeah, I want to.
So
Oh, you got to open that bad boy up tomorrow and take a photo of the inside for us.
see if you where is it?
Oh yeah, you posted a bunch of stuff after that, huh?
Oh, mate, so that one today, we took a delivery of two of them today. We actually took three today, two on this site and one on another site. These ones here are they're about 3,500 litre of stored water in them. 3,500 litre of stored water. Basically, it's a tank, a water tank, double doors. You open the double doors, and it's a clean pump room. In that pump room, we've got an electrical board, we've got heating, lights, all comes assembled. And we fit the pumps ourselves. So we will put pumps into them ourselves and then connect them up to the underground infrastructure. That site today, that's our biggest housing development. That's got 630 houses on it.
Wow.
It's got we've got like 8 kilometre of underground infrastructure. We've got full alarm systems in all houses, blocks of flats, 8 pump sets. There's 8 pump sets in total on that. There's 4 pump houses with 8 pump sets, duty standby pumps. It's a big site. It's a big ass site. It's 5 years. It's a 5 year contract for us on that one.
You said there's a tank in
So,
that little house too?
No,
so see,
no way.
yeah. So that little house, right? That little house is a combination pump house storage tank in one unit. That's a water tank as well.
Wow, it doesn't seem like you could fit all that in there.
Yeah, look, see,
You mean a water pump, right? There's a pump that pulls from
I think
the
he's got a tank in there.
municipal or no,
so
there's not enough space.
there's one.
Or I don't.
Well, that's why I said I
I
want
mean,
to see the inside of this thing.
so wait a minute, I'll see if I've got a photo here. It's got so many bloody shit photos on the phone now.
Is it a
It's like
tank of water
right.
that's
So
pressurized by air that creates
look,
water pressure?
I'll try and get one of the. I think yours are better, Bobby. If you can actually.
Oh yeah,
That's
okay.
inside that.
Oh, that's the pump.
This is a domestic pump for domestic houses.
Domestic pump.
I
Okay.
got you. Okay.
So
Are those on your
So
page? I wasn't
now,
seeing those. Oh yeah,
that's
huh?
something I'll try and say that.
What is
Well,
that?
see the
so
bottom.
That's like 3-inch plastic?
and what
Well,
does
no,
that feed in? Is that feed in like an apartment complex?
so this one pump here, yeah, is feeding 97 flats over 3 blocks and 97 flats.
Okay, so pre-system, like if you're looking at suction pressure of that domestic pump, what is that? What is the pressure usually?
Right, so these pumps here, so the water tank is at the back of this, at the back of that pump. So at the back of that pump, there's a water tank. When we do our design, we'll design like the most remote and the most favourable area, like we says, and that'll spec the tank size, volume of water that we require, and the pump pressure. On these ones here, these were reading the designs on the calculations on them, and we had this one working at, I think it was 120 litres a minute at 2.9 bar. So that was what we were needing at the most remote area. Furthest away point, the building, top floor. We picked the most remote area, and we were needing to get 120, give or take, litres a minute at 2.9 bar.
Can you translate those
And
numbers, Brian?
I'm trying
The
to.
the liters thing
so
fucks me up.
but yeah, bar
The liters
to
and then bar. Um,
yeah. See, you work on gallons in PSI, don't you?
yeah,
Gallons in PSI.
it just
Yeah,
says
shit, man.
liters.
I
Bro,
don't, I don't know. I don't know
why?
how to translate
I got a fucking brain fart. He said liters
Hey,
and bar.
while while he's talking to me, I'm
Googling
on
it.
Google Translate. Yeah.
Liters.
So
it.
one liter is 0.26 gallons, and then he was like, and I was like typing it in and trying to write it down, and then he switched to
so,
bars, and I was like, oh fuck.
Gallons and
so,
bar.
so bar, 1 bar of pressure. So what is 1 bar of pressure in PSI? What's that about? 40, is it 14 PSI
so
maybe? Is it?
I gotta
so
pull up a
a
gauge. I gotta pull up a
yeah,
gauge pick.
so 1 liter is 0.26 gallons.
Gallons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were needing 120 litres, or give or take, on that house. Basically, on most of our residential or domestic dwellings, whether it's flats or houses, we normally get the two heads operating. We've got to design the jobs to two heads operating. Not on all of them, on that category for these jobs. So we had two heads operating, and each head gives a flow of about 49 litres a minute. So I don't know what that is in gallons, but 49
So
litres.
what is the bar? Like like
one
suction wise? PS
one
for the
pound
bar. What's the
force 1 pound square inch equals 0.06 bars. I'm not smart enough for this. Where's Sally Mae at?
Get the
Where,
calculator. Get the
get the
calculators.
what is the
I have it
psi of
up.
one
So
bar? The psi of one bar. 1 bar is 14.5 psi. 2 bars 29. 3 bars 43. Okay,
so
what are the
on
numbers again?
So
yeah, what's
the
the bar?
2.9 bar of pressure. 2.9.
2.9. All right, so
That was
we're gonna say
that was
three
it.
to make it easy.
Yeah, that was up at the top floor. That was what we were moving down to
So
the floor.
the bar pressure on the suction side is 43 as psi. That's pound force per square inch.
Pounds
So
per square inch. Yeah.
PS yeah, yeah.
On the delivery side,
Okay.
you mean? On the delivery side.
Oh, that's the delivery side.
That's on the
And that's
delivery. Yeah.
deliver that's
So,
discharge. That's
so
past the suck.
yeah,
Okay.
these aren't suction lift pumps. These don't suck the water. These are just gravity fed. So you've got your tank of water, and you've got at the base of the tank, you've got the inlet to the pump.
Oh,
Then you've got
so
so
you have no pressure.
there's no
Yeah, that's
pressure in
what it
the
looks
tank at
like. I
all.
mean, there's not much
Nothing.
at
No
all
pressure
because
going in.
I mean, 43
No.
is not much at
And
all.
so 43, that's your most remote?
Say that again, sorry.
That's like your farthest point, your most remote?
Most remote area, yeah,
That seems low.
yeah.
It
Well,
is. So here in the U.S., so for example, for here in the U.S., for any domestic house, like we're looking at 105 psi as a residual. That's pretty
right,
much the minimum, I would say. Which
yeah.
that would be 7 bars
Seven
on a
bars.
minimum. Yeah.
7, yeah.
That's why your NFPA is fucking crazy, man. It's through the roof. It's though, it's a crazy. Like most houses, we've just done a calculation on a 22 story high rise. It's got 376 apartments, 22 stories high, and we require 140 litres per minute at 9.2 bar, and that's to pump up to the 20. Sorry, the 18th story. 18th story.
9.2. So
Floor
that's about
18.
130, 140 psi.
So that at the base of the riser, where the pump is, we've got 9.2 bar standing pressure. And as we are up at the top 16th, 18th floor, sorry, while we're flowing, we require it was 120 or 130 litres a minute, and it was about 1.9 bar. That's what we need up there, 1.9 bar to control that.
So
Wow.
the hospital that I just did, we got high pressure standpipes that go to pressure reducing stations. The high pressure standpipes sit at 20 bar.
Shit,
It's
man.
just about
But yeah,
300
that's
psi.
commercial. That's
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah, yeah. No,
That's
I
what.
know.
Yeah. So
So for an example, my contract, I just been doing this inspection a for 4 days. But for an example, so this is a brand new building. This is the first inspection after the acceptance.
yeah.
So this is going. All the equipment is super state of the art. I mean, they didn't skip at all. They have nitrogen air hookups from downstream from an air tank onto the dry systems. I
They're
mean, like,
cool. They're
yeah,
cool, then, eh?
oh yeah, high tech, man. They went all out. So this fire pump is before. Let me give you some examples. So um before the pump, okay, the suction side from the city, we're looking at 10 bars.
So when
Okay,
you say sorry, but when you say from the city, do you mean from the main underground pipes?
that's correct. The
Yeah,
main
see,
underground pipes.
we don't do that here. We put all our main underground pipes into a holding tank, then a holding tank to a pump, then a pump to the system, to the sprinkler system. So we don't actually come off direct off the main. We can do it, but they don't like it. They don't like it.
Really?
Um, you can get a lot of negative pressure when the pump's if the pump's not spec'd right. You can pull too much through the main and you collapse the water mains. You can actually collapse the mains
Yeah,
if there's too much. So
that
the
happens
pump
here
has
too.
got to be spec 100%
So do
to
you
make sure that
do you guys have fire hydrants?
yes, yeah, we got fire
I
hydrants,
think
yeah.
you should be tapping into that line.
So the fire hydrants, we test all the fire hydrants for the fire brigade, and we tap into that line for the storage tank. So we'll get a supply from that
Oh,
to feed it. So what we've got is a holding tank of water at all times, and the pump at the bottom of that. And all that tank does is, if we require a 30-minute supply, we make sure we've got 30 minutes worth of water in here for the amount of heads operating that we've designed the job to. But we never come off the main pipes into the pump. Never do it.
so cool.
The water authorities don't like it.
Are your holding tanks, are those elevated where
No,
they're on like big towers?
no. They're just right. They're just on the base, like on the ground of the slab, and then the pumps at the bottom of that. So you've got the gravity of the water just pushing down into it. We don't require the suction on that, so it's just gravity fed,
That
and
pump is doing all the work. That pump is doing everything.
that's where it
Everything,
was.
absolutely everything.
Yeah,
Zero,
yeah.
zero to 100.
Oh, bang on.
What's up, NFPA inspector? He says he's collapsed a few.
Wow.
Whew. So and
He
then
So it's a few.
probably
so as this tank
so
starts,
the
as the tank starts to go down, is it being replenished automatically?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's so you
yeah,
basically just
it's
don't want to
as
collapse the line. They don't want you
yeah,
tying
yeah.
it's
Well,
directly in. This is like kind of your backflow.
yeah. So what we do, we never
it's
like.
atmospheric.
Yeah, it's atmospheric. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So what we do is like every job in the UK is like that. Whether it's a commercial job and we've got a 500,000 litre of water. If we've got a 500,000 litre of water in a storage tank, if we've got a million litre, two tanks with a million litre of water, we'll have two tanks, two 500 cubic metre tanks, and they'll have 4 inch or 6 inch, 150 mil infill pipes to the top of them with big ball cocks. So as the big diesels start up, if you're doing a flow test or there's a fire, the water starts draining in the tank with the heads go off, but at that time you've got the two 100 mil mains filling that back up again. So every design that we do, we'll design it. If we require 60-minute water supply, we'll make sure there are 60 minutes of holding water within that tank, as well as the infill rate from the infrastructure, from the town supply.
That's pretty
That
cool.
makes sense, yeah.
So
But
Wow.
all the pumps that we do, they're all the same. Like I have fitted pumps directly onto the mains. We only get away with that when we've got no space whatsoever to fit a storage tank. We've got no space, or we've got the flow that we require, but we don't have the pressure. So if we don't have the pressure, we can fit a town's main pump to the town's main, and if we're pulling in just say 2 bar off the main or 3 bar off the main, we can then boost that up to 5, 6 bar required to make it work. But we don't do that often. We don't do it often.
huh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And that's incredible.
that is.
For example, so the two easiest way to class a main here in America, in New America, in fucking
In you,
America, in New,
here in
in America, New
you,
America.
America.
So if you're running a fire pump, if it's attached to a tank or city pressure, okay, city
Yeah.
lines, if it is below 1.3 bars, it will cause the main to collapse, as well as a citywide uh, boil water advisory, because they'll start pulling water
Yeah.
from other buildings.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So we've seen that. I've never seen a main collapse here, but I know that the negative pressure when they do start, you could collapse that main, and all
absolutely.
surrounding. Yeah, and it's. I think that's one of the main reasons. Right. Wait, look, I've got a. Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm just wanting to show you a picture of one of our tanks that we've got, one of the big ones that stands outside, and you'll maybe have an idea of right. So
And I think without a individual tank, like a large tank for a
yeah,
fire pump, that I think that's why you guys are using the domestic pumps. And now, for everybody, just for your knowledge, domestic pumps are designed for long term running as well. So the fire pump is designed to run till it fails, but it runs
yeah,
at a very high
yeah.
intensity. The domestic pumps are made for continuous running at a lower rate,
Oh,
which cause, and I think that's why. I think that's because of the structure that you have with the city pressure, the county pressure, and the tanks, the way you have them set up.
yeah.
That's
Well, like
interesting.
all of our commercial jobs, like so all our schools, factories, supermarkets, all they kind of jobs, office blocks. We can have like a big cylindrical galvanized steel tank that sits, I don't know, it can sit like I don't know 50 feet. But they're big. They're big. They can hold a 500,000 litre of water each. We've got two of them, and they're massive. They're huge. In the pump room below that, where we've got the pumps, or not below it, sorry, to the side of that, we have diesel pumps. We've bought diesel pumps from the States. So we've bought Grundfos pumps from the States. Big ass pumps, like a van. Look like a van. And they're powerful as shit. I mean, like they just fucking pull that water, and they're putting out 6,000 litres on something, like 6,000 litres.
Whew.
They're throwing it out. I mean, chucking it out. So yeah, so they're good. But that's just the way that we do it in the UK, and that's what's good to have this chat, because obviously I didn't know that you guys didn't use storage tanks. You just come direct off the main into a pump.
Well, so we
Sometimes.
do use storage tanks. So mainly we'll use storage tanks for large pumps. Like we're talking about large
Yeah,
diesel engines. I mean, so
yeah,
as I know your conversion is different, but let's say it's like a 3,500 gallons per minute fire pump.
yeah,
Like that's big,
bang, yeah,
4,000 gallons per minute fire pump. And
yeah,
you have to use a uh, a storage tank. And we're talking about storage tank. We're talking about giant storage tank. I
yeah.
don't know how many gallons or liters of water, but it is huge in order to
Oh yeah,
feed this. And that's for factories that are
yeah. Super
uh,
size, super factories. Yeah,
oh yeah, with plastics, with inks, with tires, like stuff that's very explosive.
flammable. Yeah,
Um, and we use that. Now you're just gonna see those tanks on factories. Like they're not gonna be on
yeah,
anything else. Yeah.
yeah. No, that is similar with us as well. Like, but like even on like a school, like so our schools that we do, um, we get a dispensation on the schools. So instead of a 60-minute water supply, we get away with a 30-minute on the schools. And the reason is that obviously the tank size, you can't have the big tanks in a playground of a school. They're just too big.
Yeah.
That's not the main reason, but that is part of it. So we then get like 27,500 litre holding tanks on schools, and that's just a standard tank for a school, unless we can maybe reduce a reduced capacity tank depending on the infill rate. But that's what most of our jobs have got, most of them. And care homes, you'll have like a 9,000 litres holding tank on a care home. Blocks of flats, you can have anywhere from 3,000 litre to 6,000 litre. Then
Okay.
individual
A
flats.
lot of tanks.
Oh mate, listen, fucking Tank Central. We're buying tanks daily, daily. It's crazy. Like them ones you've seen today on the back of the lorry, we're about 10,000 for them, £10,000. We've got four of them on that one site, and they're relatively small tanks, really. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but they're all we need for residential and domestic. So when we've done the hydraulic calculations to prove the most demand point of the job, this is what the calculations come back as. That it's for a 30-minute water supply, we're only requiring like 3,500 litre. But we've got four of these. And the reason we've got four is they don't want to shut a massive development with 600 houses down. If one thing goes wrong with that pumping tank, you've got 600 houses without a fire protection system.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
we've now divided that into four, but we've done the calcs, and the calcs worked with one. But the councils, the councils in the city were saying, listen,
What if it
if there's
shits
an
the
issue,
bed?
there's an issue. But then we've said, well, okay, we'll put a duty standby in, but what happens if there's an issue with the standby? Okay. Right, what happens if there's a fucking issue with the water supply? You can do this all day long.
Oh
You
yeah.
can say
What if?
there's problem after problem
What
after
if?
problem.
I love the what
What
ifs.
if? Yeah, what if? But on this one job, so we've now got four of these just supplying the job just to kind of please the council. So if one goes down, we've got a quarter of the site down until we get it back up and running again. The other three are still operational and they're working
Oh,
fine.
so they're not all tied in. They each do their own little section.
Yeah, so on that one site, the infrastructure's huge. It's massive. We've just split it into four, and each pumping tank will do a quarter of the site, give or take a quarter of the
Oh,
site.
okay. Hmm.
You know
You
what
have,
I mean?
are you
So in that
inspecting the
pump house,
inside of these tanks?
say that again.
Do you have to inspect the inside of the tanks?
Yeah, well, all the tanks that we're putting in, they're all like approved, RAS approved as well. But each year on the annual inspection, we inspect tanks. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The British standard doesn't state that they've got to be drained down. They've got to be physically drained down. I think it's every 10 year. Every 10 year, you've got to do an actual proper clean out of the tanks. But these ones here, brand new ones, they're coming RAS approved, like so they're approved like for potable drinking water. So all the components that's in them, it's all like high grade components to stop any bacteria or rust or that build up. But at the end of the day, it isn't potable water. It's fire water. So it's
So every year you drain it and then you
no,
inspect
no, no,
the
no, no, no,
inside.
no. Every year we just inspect it. It's just a quick inspection inside the tank just to make sure there's not build up of any bacteria or that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be full. Yeah, it doesn't
That's
need to
what
be fully
that's what we're
drained.
doing, right? You got to inspect the inside of the tank every year.
That's correct.
They're
So
sending
now
robots now usually.
when I say inspect, I am every year when on the annual inspection of the tank. Now there's also a 5-year internal where
Yeah,
someone would send a robot or you have
yeah,
scuba gear. But on the annually, I am going up there on top of the tank, open up the hatch, and visually looking inside
yeah.
with a flashlight. Like that's
That's
nothing
that
crazy.
that that's what we do as well on all the residential stuff, 100%. Because there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them at that time. But we do get a 10-year inspection on like the commercial ones, 25-year inspection as well when we've got to start doing more thorough work. But the 10-year one, it's the robot. We put the robot in the tank. We've never done the scuba. We've never done the scuba gear yet.
Yeah, it's
But
dangerous.
yeah, yeah.
They have
Don't get me wrong.
robots now. There's companies now you can hire. You hire them out and
Yeah,
they'll send a little robot down there.
Yeah,
So the job that
we
I just
had
that's
did's
the
got
way
a
to go.
150,000 gallon. That's gonna be like a 500,000 liters tank. It's under
yeah,
the building. It's a big concrete tank, like a vault,
yeah.
and
Shit, man. Yeah.
all sprinkler water comes from the tank. And as it depletes, it's got two 6-inch lines that are filling it back up.
Yeah. So is that they pump suction lift pumps in? Are they sucking that water up?
Yeah,
Upsets. Yeah.
it's a vertical turbine, and it's
Yeah.
fucking powerful, man.
They're powerful.
So
Yeah, they're
powerful.
super powerful. Yeah. No, we had a half a million. We had a half a million liter tank. It's a cylindrical galvanized steel, nuts and bolts all the way around it, and they drop in a liner, a big rubber liner, or like a big plastic bag, if you like. And what they do is that's inside the tank. Then the tank fills up and pushes the bag off. So water pushes it to the sides of the tank, and that is kind of your seal. That bag is your seal. And we'd fill the tank up, and there was a small run coming from the base of the tank. We're like, fuck, where's this coming from? So we got the robot in. The robot couldn't find it. Um, because it was a waste management plant, a big waste management plant, they didn't want to drain the tank, take the risk of draining the tank. And eventually we found it with the pink dye. We put a pink dye in the top of the tank. And then the water started leaking. You seen where it was coming from because the pink dye starts eventually leaking out the actual pinhole. And that's all it was. It was a pinhole in the liner, a tiny wee pinhole.
Oh,
So we had to then, on like the following year on the inspections, it took like months planning just to get the tank drained. Drain the tank, liner out, new liner in, and fill it back up again.
holy shit!
But
That's a
Wow.
big liner.
shit, man, it
500,000
was a
liters.
fucking, yeah, the big, yeah,
That's 150
it's
That's
huge.
150,000 gallons.
Thing
That's a
is, as
big
well,
ass fucking liner.
Yeah, that's
what happened?
giant.
What happened was, see, when we were filling the tank, well, we drained the tank, stripped the liner, the new liner in, and when I was filling the tank back up again, I just burst that valve wide open, full as I can, and fucking 10 minutes in, water just stops. I'm like, shit, what's going on here? There was so much water moving into that tank. The water authorities thought they had a major burst on the main, and they just shut down the whole area. They just shut the water off,
Oh shit!
and then all the vans were driving around. They were all driving around looking for this leak, and I'm like, it was me.
It was me trying to fill the
It was
tank.
me. Yeah, just filled the sprinkler tank. So we had to fill it in stages, crack the valve, and just fill it in stages just to please the water authorities.
Wow.
But yeah, it's mad. It's
So
crazy.
who's the top dog construction team out there? Like, do the plumbers think they're the best, or the electricians, or what? Like on the job site, who
Ooh.
owns it?
We do. We own it, man.
Good
Fuck,
answer.
sprinklers on it.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we own it every
Dude,
time. Yeah.
my ego and will
yeah,
will not allow anybody else to be in there.
That's it, man.
yeah. We've got
Yeah.
one of my guys. Like, he's funny. He's brilliant. He doesn't take shit, and he goes into these new developments of houses, and he makes sure, and we make sure at design stage that we are the first in. We tell the clients, we tell the builder, you get us in 2 days before everybody else, and we're miles ahead of everybody. The plumbers, the electricians, we're doing a good job, and we're signing it off quick. We're getting the jobs done quick. And there's one site my guys are on, and he's walked in, and there's like two joiners and an electrician, and fucking a plumber in the one room. And my guy's like, nah, that's it. And he's down tools, just totally down tools. He's out there. I write into the office of the site agent. I'm not coming back to the site ever again until you get the fuckers out that house. so, so now the site agent is calling. He's like, mate, what's wrong with your guy? He's so cheeky. I'm like, he's right. We're first in. We are first in. So he clears all these houses, and my guy just goes back and fucking fits all these sprinklers, and it's done. It's a done deal. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. He doesn't take no shit at all whatsoever, and it's good because they'll like him. They'll like him because of that.
Yeah, you
But yeah,
shouldn't take shit. You got to stand up. We're the top
No,
dogs,
yeah.
no.
baby. Top dogs worldwide. So
Thing is, as well,
That's
you know, you know what it's like. We are governor. We're strict with our heights, especially when we're using concealed sprinkler heads. Right? We've got a certain height we can be, or we cannot get that concealed head in. And when you've got plumbers, especially in housing, up and down through the joists, up and down, there's no set height. We're now up and down with a blaze master, and it looks shit.
it
It
looks
looks
like
absolutely
shit.
shit.
Yeah, you'll end up like Teague putting on
So
a bunch of cheater nipples.
yeah, and we're like, get them out.
So Jay Simmons said that he had him and Teague's company recently had a tank collapse while we were refilling. Where's the footage?
that's
I would have
But
got the
while
whole thing
you're
on video.
refilling, that doesn't even make sense. Like, why would it collapse when you're refilling?
Were you venting it?
Yeah, because it's
Maybe there
pushing
was no
out. It's
vent.
pushing
Maybe
out
you
the
just
way.
fucking collapsed that thing.
So then there was too much air, and then the air could not escape. So then you just have air and
Simmons, was
water.
Teague there? Because I'll know the problem if Teague was there.
It must have been like
Bring
it
up-
must have been like a pressurized tank or something.
I was just fucking with you, Teague. 250,000 gallons. Holy shit! That's a lot of water.
That must have been like a pressurized unit for that to collapse because when you're filling a tank up, the water's filling up, the air's getting pushed to the top.
The air's
The
getting
air
pushed up.
normally escapes. It normally escapes at most tanks unless you normally don't have a fully sealed unit tank. So
It,
that
w-
must have
it
been a
wasn't
pressurized vessel.
inspected. It hadn't been inspected in 15 years and had a bunch of leaks.
Wow.
And then Teague showed up and blew the fucker up. We haven't seen the video either. Yeah, where's the video? Come on. Someone's got to have a video. People don't think to video. I think to video. I would have missed maybe like the first 3 seconds of that thing blowing up, and then I would have had you guys on the story.
Yeah, that's mad. I've never seen a tank. I've seen a tank implode kind of come in the way as the pumps came on, like the air vents on it wasn't vented the tank. It should have been vented. And as the tank was draining because of the water was pulling down, it actually sucked the tank in slightly. It didn't actually collapse though, but it sucked right in and disshaped itself a bit. I've seen that before.
Oh, Panzica has the building he's working on, 56,000 gallon tank in the penthouse with 2 fire pumps to feed the standpipes and a fire pump in the basement.
So
Two
that
fi-
tank is 211 liters.
Holy shit,
So is that
56,000 gallons
270?
on the roof?
Now
It's, feed,
Go ahead, buddy.
it's feeding the basement.
It's 500,000 pounds. No, he says it's they're in the penthouse with 2 fire pumps on it to feed the standpipes, plus 2 pumps in the basement from the
All right.
domestic that also feed the standpipes. You got 4 pumps on them standpipes, huh?
What?
And you got
This is very weird.
500,000 pounds of water on the roof? It's a lot of fucking
No,
weight. Yeah, 56,000 gallons.
bro, this seems like a mess. Like if I was
56,000
inspecting
times
that building, I'd be
8.3.
like,
Yeah,
what is going on?
464,000 pounds on the roof of water. Imagine the wind blows. How tall is this place?
Jeez.
Fucking top heavy.
Now it's
Yeah, that's
typical.
heavy.
Like if you have a high rise, it's typical to have 2 pumps. You have one at the base, and then you have one midway to
33
as a
stories.
secondary.
Dude, that
Yeah,
thing's got a heavy fucking top.
so
Jeez,
Brian,
that's a lot, man.
so when you were saying that, Brian, were you saying like you've got a pump in the basement and a pump halfway up? And
That's
does
right.
that pump in the basement, does that pump up to that other pump? Is that what that does?
Usually, yeah.
So it'll like,
High zone
for
and low zone.
example,
Just
let's
an
say
inline pump,
that
basically.
so let's say that you have a stack of guys, right? So this guy pulls up this guy, and then you just like climb it, and then your guys, the higher you get weaker. Well, that second pump is that person who pulls
Yeah.
the other guys up, so it just bumps it. You know,
Yeah.
Just bumps
it
it.
just bumps up.
On the tall buildings for us, if you're trying to get the maximum pressure on the top floor, you'd be over pressurized on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
So you'd have to put
100%.
another
Yeah,
pump. You max it out, max pressure at the bottom, make it as high as you can, put another pump, and then go up from there.
yeah.
Yeah, but
But you,
sometimes they'll attach a master case and relief valve, which will go. So for this high rise that I just been doing, it's a brand new building. The discharge after the fire pump is 215 pounds, and then it goes into a master case and reducing valve, which drops it down to 150. But since it's 150, after a master case and reducing valve, how this works, let's say that there's a head on the top floor that busts, right? So that master case and relief valve will sense that, and it will open up more than it would be if there was a head that busted on the lower level.
oh, right, okay.
It
Yeah,
know it
Yeah,
yeah, I get that.
knows.
Yeah,
How does it know?
just by the pressure fluctuations.
the
That's
pressure.
all.
Yeah, the pressure
Yeah.
fluctuation.
Yeah, 10 psi per floor. That was what we were seeing.
Yeah. Thing is, your high rises are high, aren't they? You've got high rises. Like
Yeah.
my high rise is like 22 story,
Oh
22
yeah,
floor.
that's a baby. That's a
Yeah,
little baby.
Yeah,
I'm like
we
shit, man.
go.
I could get a wee baby pump to pump up that easy, easy. But yeah,
Yeah.
what heights? What sort of heights do you guys go to?
So we're
Um,
putting up a building in Boston right now that's it's the most iconic building in Boston on South Station. It's right by the airport. They wanted to do 75 stories. The airport knocked them down to 60. And
Shit, man. So
wow,
I
60.
forget what level the fire pump's on, but they have like you have to have high pressure Vicks for the test header to come down because it was like 500 psi or something like that. Once it came,
500?
the pump's on like the 30th floor, and then the test header runs down, and like the bottom of the test header was I forget what the
oh,
numbers
that's
were, but it
crazy.
was like astronomical.
That's
Yeah,
freaking
But so
wild.
60
So,
that's
stories. We had Mayor Menino. He wasn't letting us build high rises, and when he's gone, the new mayors that we've had, they're building them. They're throwing
bring
them
it
up.
on.
yeah,
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, the Bank of America Plaza is the highest building here in Atlanta. That's 50, that's 55 stories. So,
yeah.
55 floors. Yeah, so it's big. Now, I
That's
have
big.
not been
Yeah,
in there. I have not inspected that building, so I'm not sure how it's laid out, but I would imagine there has to be at least two fire pumps.
Let's touch
yeah.
on something right there with 55 stories. So when you go and inspect, you're going to be riding the interior elevators, right?
Either the interior or there'll be a working um
So like,
employee elevator.
when we're building those, we got exterior hoists that are
Yeah.
bolted to the outside of the building.
Yeah.
So when I came from the non-union to the union, I had never rode in one of those babies before, and let me tell you, they're not. It's fucking scary in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
your first, and
Well,
if you're
you
going
have
up 50 stories and there's
yeah.
like 40 other guys in that thing, and it's just,
Yeah.
Go,
and
go,
you're
go,
just
go,
going
go,
all the
go,
way
go,
up,
go,
and
go,
you're just
go, go.
looking at the ground, or they stop on like the 20th floor, and somebody drives a fucking scissor lift in the thing. And now you got like 5,000 pounds. It's just these little gears. It's like these gears the size of your fist that are going up this little rail.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
have one rail on one
That's
side of
right.
the
What?
interior,
It's
and
just
then you have
held
a
on that
block.
one side, man.
Yeah, they're dodgy as shit. Them like
It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sketchy.
But listen, but when I say 22 stories, that's in Scotland. Like down London, you've obviously got a lot higher. Manchester, you've got higher buildings and that. But where we are in Scotland, like 20 odd stories is high. That's a high building. I class that as a high rise for us anyway. I class that as a high rise. Yeah.
Yes, 20 to 30 stories in Florida is about average. 12 stories in DC. I think in Boston, like you're considered a high rise after like 8,
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, so anything over 6 is considered a mid-rise in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
So
and
on you go.
go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah. 18 meters. So over 18 meters. 18 meters high here is a high rise. Over 18 meters. So that could be 18 meters. Can be what 7, 8 stories, 9 stories maybe. That's now a high rise. Over here, something like that.
The Kosha Plaza,
Okay.
68 stories. Those are tall
They're big.
buildings. Scotia Plaza, Toronto. They got the Scotia Plaza,
In
68
Toronto.
stories. Old
That's what I mean.
ball.
Like you were saying, some of the pressures at the foot of the building that you've got the tank, the pump on the middle floor, or the pump. That's fucking
Mhm.
astronomical down at the bottom. Like if one of them goes, man, shit. Like where do you start?
Yeah.
Where do you
Crazy.
start?
I think I'm pretty sure there's special Vics from Victaulic that we got that you get that
Yeah,
are rated for more. They're rated for like
yeah.
500, I believe.
Victaulic is class, isn't it? Victaulic does everything. It does a lot.
Just passed a retrofit law for any high-rise residential building. So what if you got to add sprinklers?
Say
And
that again, sorry.
NFPA 20. So we had a comment says they just passed a retrofit law for any high-rise residential building. I like that. So if you go in and you upgrade, add some sprinklers.
Yeah, yeah,
They do that for multifamily dwellings in Mass. If you go in and you want to update your 2 or 3 family or more, you're required to put sprinklers in it if you do a certain amount of construction. So what a lot of people do, they'll use this loophole where they'll like this year they'll do 30% renovations and then the next year they do 30% because if you do like
yeah,
50% renovations, you got to sprinkle the whole thing.
yeah, yeah.
Just sprinkle it.
No, that's like over here as well. So like especially more, it was more so in the schools and care homes. So when the new laws came out that you had to protect like all residential care facilities and like schools, you could have an existing school that's been built for, I don't know, 20, 30 years, and they're wanting to add 2 classrooms onto that, an extra 2 classrooms. They 2 classrooms will get a pump, a tank, right? Like the water supplies are crazy just for 2 classrooms, maybe with 20 sprinkler heads in it.
Whew.
Same with a care home. You have a care home, they want to add another bedroom onto the care home, you've got to protect it. So to
Oh,
protect it, you're putting a big water supply in to protect it.
NFPA says anything over 75 feet to the highest occupied floor level above grade dictates it's a high occupancy.
So they also say it's the same thing in Canada as well.
Yeah.
So 74, just for example, 74 feet. Let's go 75 feet is 22 meters.
It's 22
So
meters, yeah.
22
So
meters is a high rise.
yeah,
We also
yeah.
have
So
First Canadian Place, 72 stories.
yeah, so 18 meters in the UK. 18 meters is classed as a high rise in the UK. So it's slightly smaller than Canada. Slightly smaller than them.
What's your average commute time?
Say that again, sorry.
Your average commute, like your how long you got to drive to the job?
It depends. Where I'm based in Scotland is we're Dundee, so we're central. We're actual central Scotland. Basically, we are on the east coast, but we're central to all the major cities.
Okay.
So I'm an hour and 20 to Aberdeen, an hour and 30 to Glasgow, an hour to Edinburgh. So I get to these areas quite quick. Most of our new housing projects are on the back end of Aberdeen. So you go to Aberdeen, an hour and 20, then you can drive another 50 minutes, an hour to get to the like suburb, if you like. So they're right out there. But yeah, it's quite easy. We can get around Scotland quite easy, quite good.
That's good.
Um, yeah, and there's not as much traffic as what you guys have got on
Oh,
the road.
you got do
Jeez.
you deal with slow nervous drivers?
Say it again.
I get behind like these
Yeah,
slow nervous drivers like their first fucking time ever being on the road. Just get out of the goddamn way.
big sprinkler van horsing down behind
Oh
you.
yeah, man. I'm like I'm going the speed limit. I don't care. Get out of the way.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I honk on the horn so much.
Dude, I was honking the other day
Yeah.
at these people. You got all these people that this will be the lane that's getting off, but you have these assholes that come in the left lane and then they try to cut everyone off, but then they just fuck this lane. So I'm on the horn. I'm on the horn in the van. It's maybe like 20 seconds, and it starts making a different squeal. And I honk that
Yeah.
thing. I honk that thing all the time, and I think that it might be the end of the horn because it changed tones on me. Like
You just hit it so much.
mid beep, it like lost its voice.
Oh,
I
that's
feel like
funny.
Europe has road rage.
Enough, Bobby.
Yeah, it
Stop
does.
tickling it.
Yeah, stop tickling it, bro. The biggest buildings in Virginia is only 22 stories in Richmond. Feel like Europe always has road rage. But like you guys got better speed limits, no? So what's your
Yeah,
speed limit?
70 miles an hour, 70 mph. So what's yours? You are the same as not or
No,
roughly.
Yeah, yeah, about 70. I'd
over in
say
Massachusetts
same.
with all these woke liberals. They got us going 55 miles an hour.
What max?
Wow.
Yeah,
Fucking
the
hell,
road that
man.
I
That's
take is 55 miles an hour because there's a bunch of nervous people that will complain and say that it's scary. It's only
So
two. It's
our
two. That most of the
highways,
time it's 65.
so
get to
our
Germany.
highways go down.
Yeah, There
our
you go.
highways here in Atlanta, the max is like 75, and then
Right.
around Atlanta, like the actual city, there's a highway called the Perimeter, and it's like 65 to 55, but no one cares. So it's always 75 around the perimeter
Yeah.
or 80. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
It's
It's
pretty
not
well
like
established that all around Massachusetts, you just go 80. It doesn't matter what the signs say. You're just gonna go 80. Most people feel comfortable going 80, and then you just get like that one Yahoo that he left really early and he wants to go 55 and fucking hold up everybody. And then we all gotta go
Jeez,
around him.
yeah. Blasting that
jeez.
horn, by the way.
Blast it. Well, you gotta
Blasting
get the windshield wipers going. As you're about to do the pass, you start holding the windshield wiper fluid so it
Yeah,
gets flowing good. And then when you get in front of them, you just give them a little car wash. Let them
it.
know, get out of the way.
man. While he's probably listening to his Oprah Winfrey like audiobook, like freaking.
You got, you got
Yeah.
any horse and buggy in your area? No, I don't have horse and
No.
buggies. What's that?
No.
Shit, the biggest building.
Oh,
Horse and buggy,
NFPA
is that
25
real?
got a big ticket. Yeah, you'll get a ticket, but no one. If you go to the speed limit, everybody hates you. But if you go normal speed, you might get a ticket. It's just, welcome to Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
If you work in Central Florida and don't use toll roads, you're not being productive with your time. Set that
So
cruise to 80 and let her eat. Yeah, let her eat, Pete.
I've done some things in Tampa. Sneed asked if we'd ever done anything in Tampa. So I have, but it was, let's say, it was not with my company. It was fire protection related, but it was, let's say, individual work, if that makes sense, without me getting into it. So if you have questions about Tampa, let me know.
Jim, you know Jeremy from Vancouver? Rising Force.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's on here
He's a
right
good
now.
man.
He's on here right now
He's
saying
on.
hi.
Yeah, but he's cool. I like
Company
him.
from
He's a good man.
Yeah,
Sanford,
dude,
Nova
he's
Scotia.
awesome. He is awesome.
Yeah.
We have so
We
much
got a
horse and buggy northeast of Toronto. You got guys in
horse and
you got
buggy.
guys in a buggy that's being pulled by a horse and they're on the same fucking road as you in the car? There's no way. I've never experienced that. I don't my road rage would
Nah,
probably peak if I seen that.
they're
How
gone.
fast does that thing go? That horse is gonna go
85.
20 miles an hour. That's it, right?
85.
Hurry up, horse.
Yeah. Fucking out with a whipping its ass, man, all day.
Oh yeah, they give tickets. The cops, I don't know. The cops kind of relax a little bit on the highways out here since COVID. There's a big there's not enough police. There's not enough police in our area to be fucking pulling you over for doing 10 over the speed limit. And if they are, then they really have
Mm,
nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much more better things to do than pull me over for going 12 miles an hour over your speed limit. Pick the speed limit.
Yeah. I think it's the same everywhere, really, isn't it? They've got so much more. They can be productive work they can be doing than
We got
pulling.
GPS. You got GPS in Virginia. I mean, I got GPS up here too. What do you mean? Yeah, nobody wants to be a cop. Why would you? I mean, everybody just
no,
attacks
why would
them.
you? Everybody hates them. It's terrible.
Amish
They don't get
share the
paid
road.
enough.
I
Nah, man.
Why are you guys not posting videos of this shit? If you're stuck behind a horse and buggy in your car, I want
I
I
want to
want a
see it.
fucking video of it.
Freaking tag me, man.
What the
I'll
fuck?
share it.
Right? This is why you send the
That's
video to
mad.
the boss. That's why I'm late for work. His fucking guy in his horse and buggy's in my way. No blink.
Jeez.
He's got no blinkers.
Well, he's not going to believe you if you don't fucking video that shit. He's not going to believe you. No way at all.
Amish and Mennonite. Mennonite. Never heard of that one. I have a couple
Man.
videos. Send them. I got a couple videos. What? These guys are commuting with horse and buggy. I'm blown away.
That's crazy.
I can't imagine
Your,
that shit.
your
Throw
wee
your
two,
throw
your wee,
your throw your rigid wrench at him, man. Like,
I
hey,
I
hurry up, let's
I'd
go.
probably feel bad to honk at the horse. I'd be mad at the guy, but I would like I'd want to see the horse. I'd feel bad for that
Mm.
horse pulling you. Get a car.
Like, all right, let's. I mean, I just think it's crazy to think of that lifestyle. I mean, as a kid growing up, like I would think that me would be like, why am I living this way? Like, why am I just like accepting like this is the
I don't
real
think that
way?
they know. There's no
It's
technology,
what is
right? How do they
what
know?
it's like North Korea, you know? It's
Who's
like
got
they
an
don't.
Amish? Anybody got an Amish friend we can have on? How about an Amish sprinkler fitter that drives a fucking buggy?
I think Jeremy's got an Amish friend. I'm sure he does. Jeremy.
Jeremy's got an Amish friend. My wife won't let me use Insta. Really?
What?
Facebook is way worse than Instagram, Sneed.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, Facebook is terrible.
He's been caught. He's been caught. He's been
He's
caught
been
at the other
caught.
day.
Yeah, you can't be
Yeah, he's
going
been caught
liking
out.
all the pictures of the broad, Sneed.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like 95% of my Instagram is all dudes. Fire
Jeremy says he
protection
grew up with
dudes.
them in his hometown. Holy shit.
What? That's crazy.
They don't want any part of
Mad.
modern society. Well, what about like coming on a Zoom and letting us know about them? I'll
Yeah,
let him
get them
drive.
on now. Get them
I'll let
on.
him take my Mustang for a ride. I bet you he'll never go back to the fucking horse and buggy.
You still have the Mustang?
Oh fuck yeah, I'll never get rid of that thing.
What
my-
is that? 01, 02?
It's a '03 that I got in '05. I've had
You
it.
got two?
No, I got it in '05. I bought it in '05. It's a
Okay.
2003.
Yeah.
I
4.6 liter V8.
4.6 liter V8. I put all my sprinkler money into it as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first car.
That'll be fast. Is that fast?
I mean it's a Mustang, so it's not like super fast,
It's
but
loud.
Yeah.
It's loud. Yeah.
it's loud. Yeah, it's straight piped, and I can do donuts. I
Nah.
do mad donut. I've replaced the bearings in the rear end like 3 times. I just do donuts. That's my favorite thing to do. And like I get in my kid will get in and want to do donuts.
So I had a Scion FRS, and I put a Vortex supercharger on it, and I put bigger wheels and tires, and had it tuned, and put a new fuel injection system on it. Dude, I freaking loved it. It was so much fun to drive.
I love it. It's sentimental.
Yeah.
I like the Fox Buddies too, but this is the Mustang that I got, dog. This is the one I
Yeah,
like.
like the Fox bodies with the Cobra Jet engine. You remember the Cobra Jet? That thing was awesome. 5.0 Cobra Jet. Woof.
I love me a good Fox Buddy. Those things will take a beating. They take such a beating.
Yeah, they will.
Those 5.0
Yeah, they will.
motors. But my
I got a
4.6,
Gladiator
my
now.
4.6, I've
Love
been
it.
beating her for years, and she's still holding out on me. She takes it.
She's going to end up like that horse. She'll end up like that horse, won't she?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna end up on a horse and buggy. I don't know how long it would take me to get to Boston on one of them things.
400 horses, eh? 400 horses.
Boosting Bobby.
Boosted Bobby.
Boosted
Is it
Bobby,
net?
yeah.
Are you gonna put a supercharger or?
Yeah,
or
I've been
boat charger
building
something?
my way up over the years. So we're gonna do cams and valve springs next, and then probably injectors and a fuel pump, and then I'll be ready for. I want to like everybody does a supercharger. I want to pull that front bumper off and put 2 turbos in there.
Yeah.
Get the twin turbo 4.6. Hit that.
You can even do a twin turbo and then get someone to like a welding friend to weld you on a front bumper. The thing would be like you see on like Jeeps and Toyotas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
so
be gnarly.
Snowplow. You got a snowplow front on there.
I don't drive it enough, but that's my baby. It's my baby. I'm keeping it forever. I want it.
Yeah.
My father. You always hear stories from like the older generations, the men that were in your life when you were a kid, talking about all the sick cars they had and all the things they used to do in those cars. And you're like, where the fuck's the car? But you didn't want to
Yeah.
save that car for me, so I'm keeping the car and I'm giving it to the kid. Twin turbos are the way to go. So how about like a good flood story?
Oh,
Good
do you have a
story?
flood story?
You got a good flood story? What did I just drop?
Flood.
Flood, water everywhere.
No, we don't get floods, man. We don't get floods.
No, no, like
we've had
like a
we've had one.
sprinkler flood.
Yeah. We've had one. I was in an Asda. I was in a supermarket. Probably going back now about 15 years ago, and it was one of them ones. One of the guys I was working with, we just finished doing all the sick and fix sprinkler heads, the drops to the ceiling, and I told them to go and shut off the drain valve that we'd opened to drain that leg of the system, and he gave me the thumbs up, all good to go. So I was standing in the pump house, and it was one of the pump houses, Brian, you're talking about. It was like a container, a metal container,
Yeah.
like a pre-packaged pump house, basically. It just get dropped off on a skid. And I'm filling the system up, filling a big Asda, big massive supermarket, and I'm filling the supermarket up. And I'm watching the gauges, and they're right up to full, like fucking 8-9 bar or something. And as I turned the pumps off and went to walk away, the fucking fired back up again. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the gauges. And they're like rattling. And I'm like, shit, man. So turn the pump off, and the gauges are like, I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm shutting the valve, shutting the valve. And I come running out the room, and I run all the way around the supermarket, and my guy is actually standing fucking black from head to toe. And he's like, water. So I went in and it was a disaster. It was a disaster. Basically, what he done was while he was shutting the valve off, the handle snapped, and he went away to the van to get a fucking spanner so he can shut the valve off, but didn't phone me and tell me. So as I've walked around to put the water in the system, I've just went around and fucking blasted it open, and
Oh, jeez.
he's in the fucking van looking for a spanner, and oh yeah, it was a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare.
That's
But yeah,
epic.
that's really the only one that we've had. The damages were about 40 grand. The damages 40,000.
Wow.
Supermarket was shut for a couple of hours. They had to get my cleaning uh, contractors out to soak the water up and stuff like that. But that's really the only one, the only bad one that we've had.
That's not too
So
bad.
yeah,
That's not too bad of
no,
damage.
no, yeah. I did see a video about 2 months ago, and it was in London, and it must have been on about level 10 or 11, maybe higher. And one of the engineers had slackened the hydraulic clamp to connect onto the pipe, but the system was live. And this fucking Vicky Blank just went pop, and this 4 inch main or 6 inch main, the water was coming out like a cannon in the middle of a
Oh,
like a high
jeez.
rise. Oh, you want to see that? It was horrible. They were just all standing with their phones. They were all videoing it with their
Yeah.
phones. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do?
Some
But
people don't
yeah,
know how to react.
no, no.
Tell the
What
apprentice
about
the
you
video
guys?
so you can go run and shut it off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, have you guys had any? Have you guys had any bad ones? Bad bursts?
Yeah, I broke. I have a couple. I have a couple floods under my belt. I had a good one that I've told on
Yeah,
another episode where I snapped a head off of it that
me
was in a
too.
cheater. I was
Snap the head off it.
it was the plate was low, and so we were going around cranking the heads, and this particular one was already cranked maxed out, and it was on a cheater nipple. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like brass. It's female by male,
That's right.
half
Yeah,
inch brass, and they're just weak. I don't
yeah.
even know
You
if they're
just shut it
allowed. I
off.
know they're frowned upon. I don't think they're actually even allowed. But I put my breaker bar on that thing, man, and it just sheared that cheater.
Oh fuck.
And that was that. Fire pump was
Oh,
live. There was a
yeah,
there was a guy close by to the fire pump, so luckily it didn't run too long. But the valves were all
yeah,
locked by chain, so I had to cut them off with a hacksaw. And yeah,
yeah.
it
By
was
by
scary.
that time you've got a lot of water when you're looking for hacksaws to try and fucking get in.
Right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
shut it off.
And I got a couple other flood stories I'm gonna save for you guys. Maybe we'll give you
Yeah,
another flood
cool.
story on like episode 15. I probably got
Blowout, Bobby.
two other ones. Yeah, I can't tell you guys too many of the flood stories because then I'll really be a blowout, Bobby. There is new
I'm gonna
side.
have a pipe fitter that I was with on the show talk about my big flood story.
There's a new six-sided cheater. You're
Six-sided.
confusing me with that. What does that mean? Six-sided.
Six-sided.
Blowout Bobby. Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna make a T-shirt for you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be special edition, one a year. So you gotta fucking enter.
Yeah,
You gotta enter to get it.
we're gonna do a
we
raffle for Blowout Bobby.
Yeah, yeah. We had one of our guys. He was up on a big cherry picker, a big scissor lift, big cherry picker, big factory, and he was tightening up some heads like you were saying when they were live, and he done the same thing. The spanner jumped off the head, snapped the bulb, and the fucking water was pouring on top of him. And I'm standing at the bottom watching him, and he's got his finger on the button, and he's just coming down slow, and the water is just
You're stuck there, man.
yeah. He's like,
Uh,
fuck, man, there's nothing you can do. You're just coming down like shit. Yeah, that was quite a funny one actually.
that is good. Yeah, deer in headlights. That's the perfect description. You got people that panic and run around in circles and bump into each other, and then you got deer in headlights, and then like a couple people will actually do
hmm
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
There's a
No, I know.
new six-sided cheater nut, not cylinder. What? Jeremy, you hurt my brain.
We'll get a picture. Give me a picture of it.
Yeah, hit me in the DMs.
Six-sided.
Six-sided. You'll ever see a six-story carpet enter a stairwell? An entire stairwell? Six-story carpet stairwell? Then seen the roof
Whoa.
manifold open, 4-inch outlet. We gotta get Sneed on. He seems like he's got a couple good flood stories.
hmm
All
Yeah.
right, hour and 20
Seen
minutes.
a couple
This was
things.
great.
Dude, this is
I gotta
awesome.
tell you,
We would love
your
to have you
accent's
on.
phenomenal. You would crush the ladies here in Boston. they would be
Get me
flocking you.
across, man.
Yeah,
Get me across. I'll help you fit some heads for a couple of days, and we'll go for a drink.
let's do it. Oh
Let's do
man,
it.
that's good. I run around willy nilly waving my heads. Yeah, like the people like it's like the ah
Yeah, yeah.
couple.
That's what you get. Yeah,
Running like Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
It looks like a nut with a half-inch male thread. Yeah, but you got me when you said six-sided. I don't know what that
yeah.
means.
I've seen them. I've seen them ones. I've seen them ones you're speaking about. Yeah,
The
just like a
cheater.
brass nut with a male thread on it with a female inside the
Yeah,
six side nut.
you can get them. You can get them half. You can get them 5/8, 3/4, 1 inch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're not allowed to use them. We're not allowed to use them over here. But I've
We're
seen
not
them getting
we're not
fitted.
allowed to use them either. But every now and then
Yeah,
you just twist
but
one of
they
them
get
babies
used.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's definitely a weak point on the system. But listen, I put a couple in my day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Is it where the sprinkler head is? Is it where the head's a bit short? If the head's too short, maybe from the suspended ceiling, you can't get the cover plate on properly. You can put a wee nut drop. You put one of the wee six sides in, and you can extend the sprinkler head down slightly.
Yep. Or you take your channel locks and
Yeah,
you fuck with the plate a little bit so it grabs better,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Neither we get that thing. All right, so yeah,
Yeah.
fucking that went by
Incredible.
quick. It's already an hour and
Dude,
20.
crazy. Crazy episode. We would love to have you on again, man. I
Yeah,
mean, we're
definitely, man. That was...
talked an hour about fire pumps and high rises. What else can we get into?
Right?
Yeah,
It's
mate.
yeah.
You need to get me one of the hats, man. Right? You send me one of the hats, and I'll send you a fucking zone check. I'll send you one of the orange
Yeah,
zone checks, man,
holy
for
shit.
residential.
I would love to do
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna see what the customs is about trying to go from here to there. I get these from the Sprinkler Life guy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
sprinkler
right,
light.
yeah. I follow that guy. Yeah, he's
This
cool. He's good.
he's got merch on his page, and that's where I get these
Has he got
hats.
Has he got them? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I'll have a look at them. Yeah, Sam. No,
We
that was
thought
good, guys.
about
That was.
doing we thought about doing apparel like hats and shirts and stuff, but I'm not sure, what everybody thinks yet. The whole purpose of this, show and our Instagrams is to, create a community. But if you guys, want hats like dope and tape hats too, fitter
Very cool.
hats, Tyson has pins. We can put all that on the website, and I don't know if y'all want it,
Yeah,
we can do it.
yeah. That'd be cool. That would it. That'd be
Yeah, for
smart.
sure. It's all really about the community and just we're tight knit. We're tight knit in our own areas, but let's connect all the areas. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah. The world,
I'll
connect
get
the
a dope.
world.
I'll do some dope and tape
Yeah,
hat. I'll wear a dope and tape hat. Yeah,
me
and
too,
Yeah,
connecting
man.
with
fucking
sprinkler
right.
fitters around the world, man. This is great. So Jeremy says
That's
that
incredible.
good luck sending to Scotland. It gets lost in the mail.
See what Jeremy sent me a hoodie. He sent me a one of his tops, and it got fucking lost in the fucking mail.
Bastards.
I got
Oh
yeah,
my
Someone else is
god.
wearing
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I got rejected at customs. I got rejected at customs. So the customs had it, and it got rejected and sent back to Jeremy again. Says they wouldn't accept it. So
Oh
fuck
yeah.
knows. Fuck knows.
They
Yeah,
they
I think it's
thought
just where Jeremy's from. I think Jeremy made an arse of it. Really, he made an arse of my address or something. And
yeah.
he put the wrong shit there. Yeah. Sorry,
Oh
Jeremy. I'm only joking. I'm
yeah,
only
that's
joking.
good. Sneed.
I can get
I
I can
wanted
get
to.
with my Nigerian friends about shipping, so I might be able to send you something.
Oh yeah,
Say that again, sorry. Yeah,
we're,
Nigerian
we're
friend.
gonna smuggle it over.
Yeah, yeah,
He's gonna knock at your
Yeah.
door.
yeah. They are professionals,
Yeah.
professionals.
Tapping the door tomorrow morning with a fucking bucket of
Yeah.
merchandise.
So Jeremy's on Instagram. You want me to tell him your Instagram?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you want me to tell them your Instagram? Sneed wants to find
Yeah, yeah,
you.
of course, yeah,
So
yeah, of
he's on
course, man.
Instagram as Discovery Fire Sprinklers Ltd. No space. Discovery
Yeah,
Fire Sprinklers. And he's got like you can see it's sprinklers, it's sprinkler work, and it just looks different than the shit that I'm doing. That's why I was so
Yeah,
intrigued.
you can also go to Atlanta Fire Protection or Blue Car Bobby and look at the people that we're following, and you can put type in
Oh
Discovery,
yeah,
and you can
right.
see
Oh,
the
and
fire. That might be
I
easier,
tagged him on my share as well.
right?
yeah.
I'll be trying again
Cool,
though.
guys.
All good. Yeah, we want to get Sneed on. There's a bunch of people we still want to get on, and January's probably going to be the month. We're just going to be popping it off. It's going to be
Dude,
steady.
January is gonna be crazy.
How
So
many do
many
you
great
do?
ups.
Podcasts do you do a week?
3
Two
a
or
week,
three?
Three a
Monday,
week.
3 a week.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah, that's
Wednesday.
cool.
And
That's cool.
we're trying to like fit in a Saturday thing, but it's tough.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot going on. So, but
A lot going on, especially with your working life as well, because you're obviously busy at work constantly as well. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, and
absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
early for most of us watching, but it's like what? It's 11:30 now for Jim.
oh shit, man, I missed my bedtime. I missed my
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much.
staying up with us.
No, definitely, man. It's been good. It's been fun, and I've been liking your posts as well. The stuff you've been since I started following you, and that has been good. It's good to see what other people are doing
I
all over the
appreciate
place
it.
and
Yeah,
how
that's what I say. I
they
like to
been
see. I
good.
want to see all the shit. I want to see the horse on the buggy and whatever you guys are seeing. Just
Yeah,
post it. Just post that
and
shit.
it's real as
Yeah. I want
well.
to see
It's
it.
real as
Tag us.
well. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not fake. It's not fake bullshit that people put up because a lot of people put bullshit up, just don't they?
That
What they want you to see.
what they
It's
want.
actually real
That's
stuff.
it. I'm just
Yeah,
look at
real.
what I'm doing. That's it. That's what I'm trying to show.
The
Yeah,
next fire pump I do, I'll send you a video.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Oh, I got a
happy
horse and
days.
buggy video in my DMs. I'm excited. I'm gonna check that out after. Yeah. So again, it was nice meeting you. We appreciate you giving
yeah.
us your time to
Nice to
come
meet you.
on.
Thank you for coming on.
No, it's been good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. This is my.
Yeah. Do it
I
again.
was a virgin podcaster, so this is my first podcast. So
You did
happy
good.
days. Yeah,
That's very-
nervous as
It was
shit, man.
awesome.
yeah. No, you did good,
Ah,
And if there's
no, it's
anybody
cool.
out there that you know that you tell them about this and they want to come on, we'll talk to them too.
Yeah,
Or you can
no,
come on. You can
definitely,
come on
100%.
together.
Absolutely.
If you got a buddy or a partner or something you want to bring on, we'll bring you guys back on.
Yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
definitely, mate, 100%. 2023, here we come. We're gonna
2023 is going to
23.
be the year. We're gonna just the dope and
Yeah,
tape. We're doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole year,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every fucking
non-stop,
night of the week.
baby. Every day, baby.
Yeah,
Sprinklers.
Every day.
All right.
no, happy days.
Everyone
Good
watching
man.
us
Awesome.
live, watching the replay. You can watch the replays on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you have to go into the live category. Every video's in there. I don't. Are we affiliated on Twitch yet? Let me check before we get off because I know we've been
I
pushing that.
hope so. Come
We've
on,
been
guys.
we've
Y'all
been
gotta
trying to
help
be
us out.
affiliated on Twitch, and then our
I
videos will
actually
save.
just downloaded Twitch today, actually. I didn't even know what Twitch was until
Oh, we're still sitting at
yesterday.
49 followers, so we're still looking for one follower on Twitch, and then we're affiliated, and then I think all the videos will come back. Once we get the affiliation, they'll allow us to use their cloud.
Yeah, the
So,
more followers we get, the more help we get with Twitch.
Twitch is like
The
nicer to us. Like right now we're trying to do path to affiliate, and we have every category crushed except for the 50 followers.
Yeah,
of course.
absolutely. We need that so we can keep these videos and we can, when a guy like an apprentice or a friend of yours is thinking about getting into fire protection, you can send him to the Twitch account. He can see all these past videos and see how excited we are. And then he can get excited or she can get excited about getting into the fire protection industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
I
the
totally
goal.
agree. And
That's the
like
goal.
they're on YouTube. They'll always be on YouTube. YouTube's a little more kind to us, being new to the show podcast world. So yeah,
Cool.
follow us on Twitch if
Yes.
you already have. Thank you. If you're watching us live, thank you. Replay, thank you. Jim, thank you.